And now to an update on a wedding we covered last year. Surprise engagement proposals, nothing new, but a surprise wedding for the bride, well, that's not something you hear of often, but we did hear from a mid-state woman who celebrated her first anniversary last week. Seth Kaplan was there.
How are you?
We surprised Doug Stansley by showing up for his first anniversary. But that is nothing like the surprise he pulled off for Alyssa Wykrikas a year earlier. They first met years before that at Lebanon Valley College.
That's where we met initially. We didn't date then.
We actually worked together as tour guides in the admissions office.
My first memory is it was like a discovery day or an open house, and we just happened to be sitting next to each other. So it was really awkward small talk for like a half hour.
Do you have a memory like that?
Not really. Not the first memory of seeing him, because he was just, one of my coworkers.
And then next thing you know, we're married.
But what happened before that is what this story is about. They knew they were going to end up together.
It was just a matter of when, how, where, and he answered those questions.
So I was actually home visiting my parents in Jersey, and my mom was like, oh, coming up with some ideas. And she said something about a pop-up wedding, which I now know means the bride and groom plan a wedding, and they surprise their guests when they show up. But I heard it as you surprise your spouse with the wedding, which was wrong.
But could his mistaken idea be even better?
She really loves surprises, and kind of how much bigger of a surprise can you get than a wedding?
Especially when you're not even engaged yet. He told her for Christmas his parents paid for a weekend for the two of them the following summer in New York's Finger Lakes region.
But they already picked the dates, so we can't change it. Which I don't know how she didn't really ask more questions than that, but she's like, oh, okay.
I was excited to go, didn't really ask too many questions.
But I emailed her boss like, hey, you have to give her these days off, because it really wouldn't be a wedding without the bride there. So.
First, Friday morning, the proposal, Watkins Glen.
So he told me I kind of want to be there before the crowds.
I'm pretty much just sprinting in at this point, because like a year's worth of planning is about to happen.
He was really walking fast, and I thought, wow, we really are beating these crowds. He's booking it.
He told her something about looking at a waterfall.
And I was confused at what he wanted me to do, so I turned around and he's down on one knee, and that was a big surprise.
She said yes, and then I kind of motioned the photographer over. I was like, oh, this is Brent, this is the photographer. He's gonna be taking our wedding pictures on Sunday. And it was just nothing. There was no reaction.
It did not register. He had to say it again in 2 days, and he was like, yeah, I planned a whole wedding.
Every detail.
Probably a bit overkill, but I didn't want to take any chances.
He kept this journal of it all.
You are my person, you're the love of my life, and in a few days you'll be my wife. Tearing up a little bit.
For the wedding, custom wine bottles with their favorite picture.
This was when we went to Iceland. And we had this kind of crazy waterfall rainbow picture.
The wedding day, almost perfect.
Right when we were about to walk down the aisle, monsoon. But then it all cleared up and we had like rainbows and it was beautiful.
Here's the photo.
I think I like this one better than the Iceland one.
Close friends and family there to celebrate, including Doug's co-conspirators, both sets of parents who brought the dress Doug had tricked Alyssa into picking for herself, but that's another story.
The wedding was perfect. I couldn't have planned a better wedding myself. We went to Aruba for our honeymoon, and then we visited his friend in New Zealand,
who had come to the surprise wedding.
So for our first year anniversary, I did want to give him all the credit he deserves for planning the most perfect weddings.
So she called us and told him at the last minute.
Oh my gosh, like the news.
And here you are.
Maybe all of this isn't such a surprise after all.
At the end of the day, I was confident I knew my soon-to-be wife, so I fell back on that, and I was right.
Both right for each other. In Dauphin County, Seth Kaplan, ABC 27 News.
Hi, I'm Eric Finkenbinder from ABC 27, and we're excited to announce the new ABC 27 News Plus app. Live stream newscasts or watch content on demand. This is different than the ABC 27 app on your smartphone. You can check this out at home, and it's very easy to use. With a Fire Stick, go to the homepage, scroll down to search. From there, enter ABC 27. Move over to the apps, and there we are. Click the icon and install. It's just that easy.